As a marketing leader, you know the story. You spend millions of dollars driving traffic to your company's website, but the results just aren't what you hoped. On top of that, 81% of marketing leaders say website ownership is a challenge. There's a better, faster way with Webflow. Webflow's visual-first platform gives your marketing team the freedom and flexibility to truly own your website. From launching a new web experience to optimizing for performance, Webflow gives you the tools to drive business growth fast. Unlock your website's full potential today at webflow.com.
Hi, I'm Adrian Pasquarelli, Special Projects Editor and Senior Reporter at Ad Age, and welcome to another edition of the Marketer's Brief Podcast, our weekly discussion about marketing news and trends that have the industry buzzing. eBay was one of the first brands to introduce customer-to-customer selling when it was founded nearly 3 decades ago. Since then, the company has expanded into a multi-billion-dollar retail powerhouse. Today, we'll be talking with Adrian Fung, the Global Chief Marketing Officer at eBay. He'll discuss how eBay is tapping into certain retail trends with its marketing, where it is investing in AI, and how personalization plays a role in the company's growth strategy. Now here's my conversation with Adrian. Hi, Adrian. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm excited to be here.
Adrian and Adrian, here we go. So you've been global CMO of eBay for 2 years, but before that you were in a different role at the company. Can you talk a little bit about your background and what you now handle at eBay?
Sure. So I joined eBay about just under 3 years ago, and I've spent my entire career pretty much in marketing. Everything from small business marketing. I started my own startups during the original dot-com boom. I've been in tech marketing for a big part of my career. Then really started with retail marketing when I joined Sam's Club. Oh, how long ago was that? Probably about 8 or 9 years ago now. And led marketing at Sam's Club, membership at Sam's Club. That was my first experience in retail, both sort of the combination of physical retail as well as e-commerce. And then joined eBay about 3 years ago, where I started leading our performance marketing team here, but then gradually he sort of expanded the role, and a little under 2 years ago took on the global CMO role.
And part of your responsibilities includes exploring new digital strategies, and one of those big buzzwords around digital strategies, AI. Can
Yes.
you talk a bit about how you're using AI for marketing efforts, how you're thinking about it, and where it comes into play?
Sure. So AI is incredibly important at eBay, and something we've actually been working on for quite a long time in marketing. As you can imagine, eBay is incredibly complex. We have 2 billion listings at any given point in time, 130 million buyers around the world. So trying to figure out, how do we stay relevant with our customers? How do we make sure that each one of our customers sees something that they're actually really excited about and can engage in? That's a big challenge. You can't just sort of go and curate a few items here and there and sort of say, this is going to be something that people are interested in. You really need to take a look at all the different interactions we have, understand the customer at its deepest level to understand what's going to be relevant to them. And so we've been leveraging AI in a predictive form for a long time now to make sure that we map items and topics that are relevant to our customers. But what's been really exciting in the last year has been, how do we not just understand what's exciting for our customers, but be able to show it to them in a much more exciting way. So leveraging Gen AI now to be able to show more than just an item recommendation, but really topics, marketing copy, all these different areas that we can now leverage to create a more inspirational message to our customers that's still very personalized at a one-to-one level. That's what we're leaning into. So very excited about some of the work we're doing there.
It sounds like it's helping a lot with efficiencies.
Yes, I'd say when we think about efficiencies, what we really lean into is not about like, can we reduce costs or things like that? What we want to do is, how do we efficiently create a better customer experience? So how do we take AI and think about, well, we may have a team that can only develop X amount of creative. With Gen AI, now we can do multiples of that, and we can then leverage our science models to then predict which one of those creatives is going to be best for each person. We can then take that content and personalize it down even further. And so it's an efficient way to create a better customer experience. And that's how we think about leveraging it.
Now, do you reserve a part of your budget for experimental channels, like kind of, implementing Gen AI for some marketing? And how does that measure out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very important for us to continue to innovate. And so we absolutely spend, a portion of our team's time as well as our budget to continually experiment and innovate in these different areas. And so for us, we like to measure everything. We're a very analytical company, and we believe that ultimately we can do better for our customers if we understand the impact across all the different channels that we activate against. And so as we're experimenting, we're really trying to make sure we understand sort of what's the overall impact? How is it impacting our customer perceptions? How is it impacting our actual customer behaviors on the site? And ultimately, is it driving key business metrics for us in terms of things like driving new customers, actually driving transactions and sales, et cetera? And so what we're seeing is, similar to what I was saying earlier, as we're being able to generate more content in a more personalized way, it's actually driving our business metrics in a very positive manner.
What other channels are you leaning into when you think about eBay's brand marketing? I mean, I assume this will impact the different generations. So maybe you're doing more social. Do you ever do TV? Kind of what's the breakdown?
Yeah, we actually leverage all kinds of channels to reach our customers, and it really depends on sort of what our goal is and what customers we're trying to reach. So at its highest level, from a brand marketing standpoint, we're trying to really change perceptions about eBay's brand, bring new customers onto the platform. And depending on who we're trying to reach and what message, we'll really leverage different opportunities in different channels. What's unique about eBay is we have a lot of different communities of customers. And what unites them is that they're all passionate about something. They come to eBay not to fulfill a transaction, but to really fulfill a passion of theirs, whether it's getting the latest fashion and handbag that's unique for their collection, whether it's getting that right a sports trading card that they were looking for, or enhancing their car in a way that makes it special. We need to talk to them in a way that's very authentic and relevant to them. And so as we think about sort of our different channels, what we need to make sure of is that we're leveraging the channels that they're in, and we're talking to them in a voice that feels most authentic. And so we tend to leverage a lot of our existing sellers, really active customers in our communities, and feature them both on social as well as we feature them in ads on TV, et cetera, just to make it feel like, hey, it's not eBay telling them why eBay is a great place, but it's like-minded enthusiasts that can tell the story for us.
Right, it's that community aspect that has been such a
Absolutely.
force for you guys. And I know that authentication and kind of getting away from counterfeits and making sure that buyers are getting know that they can get real goods with eBay has also been a big push, right?
That's absolutely been critical. One of the things that our customers really care about most is whether or not eBay is a marketplace that they can trust, right? We have so many different sellers, there's like I said, at 130 million buyers. And so it's really important that our customers trust the marketplace. We've invested a lot to make sure that eBay is the safest marketplace out there, and you can both trust the items that are listed on eBay, the sellers that are on eBay, and then finally, if anything goes wrong, that eBay has their back. And so programs like Authenticity Guarantee has been huge for us in the fashion space in particular, but we also have things like Guaranteed Fit in our parts and automotive area, which really helps to gain trust that out of all the different parts that we have on eBay, you're getting one that's actually going to fit your car. So all of those are super important. And from a marketing standpoint, we lean into messaging those because they're really great reasons to believe to help our customers understand all the different things we're investing in to help create that trusted marketplace.
It feels like there isn't an area, a retail category that eBay isn't in, especially when you think about automotive and things like that. Are there any categories that you think are white spaces still that you haven't branched into?
Well, the amazing thing about eBay as a marketplace and the scale we have is that a lot of these categories pop up organically. Sometimes you'll be amazed at just sort of like what kinds of things are showing up on eBay, things that we're not even focused on, all of a sudden pop up. And so it's one which makes it a really dynamic marketplace, and it's very exciting to be in because we'll uncover opportunities like, oh my gosh, we had no idea that people were doing XYZ on eBay, but it's a growth opportunity for us. And so that's really exciting for us to be constantly sort of evolving in. But I think the thing, like I said earlier, that unites all of these areas is that what we find eBay customers to be are really passionate about whatever that particular category might be. And so what we tend to get is not people that are just looking for sort of the quickest shipping or whatever. It's I can find that really unique item that makes it exciting for me to be able to express my passion.
Right. They want that specific product more so than, free shipping or quick shipping is kind of the after.
Exactly.
And I know that the companies, in terms of your agency relationships, when getting back into brand marketing, I know that you guys recently initiated a review of the global media business. Can you talk a little bit about why you decided to instigate a review?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had a great relationship with Essence MediaCom for a number of years now, and it's nothing against them. They've done amazing work for us. But the company's been evolving and our marketing's been evolving. And so over the last couple of years, what we've really done is moved from a very decentralized model of marketing where every country was doing its own marketing campaigns, doing its own media buying, towards much more of a hybrid model where things are sort of a combination of sort of centralized from a global standpoint with regional executions. And as we've been moving to that model, it felt right to sort of reevaluate kind of what agency capabilities do we need in that model, and how do we think about leveraging new technologies better, leveraging sort of our first party data in different ways. And so it just felt like a good time to just make sure that we had the right agency to be able to support all those efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense, especially when you think about the global reach of eBay. What about from the creative standpoint? Is that something where, you're thinking about having a global creative AOR? Do you still work with different agencies there?
Yeah, we actually have spent a lot of time on looking at that as well and really deepened our relationship with Joan. I think, as you know, we've been working with Joan for a little while now. And similarly, we've decided to leverage Joan much more broadly across all of our countries.
And how many countries is eBay in?
So eBay is in over 200 countries. We don't necessarily have unique sites, but we do have buyers and sellers across the globe in all these different countries. And so it's actually amazing to sort of see not just, oh, how many buyers we have, but the fact that they're buying across borders, that you'll have someone in Poland buying from the US versus Germany. And a lot of it is due to the fact that, again, we have all this amazing inventory across the globe, and passions really just aren't necessarily local. They really span across the globe. So being able to satisfy sort of that demand and really meet the passions of those enthusiasts across borders is an amazing thing.
Let's take a quick break for this message from our sponsor.
Let's be real for a sec. We all know that your website shouldn't be a static asset. It should be dynamic and drive conversions. That's marketing 101. But 54% of marketing leaders say web updates take too long. That's over half of you listening right now. That's where Webflow comes in. Their visual-first platform allows you to build, launch, and optimize web experiences fast. That means you can set ambitious goals and your site can rise to the challenge. Learn why teams like Dropbox and Orange Theory trust Webflow with their business growth today at webflow.com.
Welcome back. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but I know that eBay has been making a big push into personalizing its digital experiences for customers. Wondering if you could talk a little bit more about those efforts. Like, for example, if I'm someone who likes handbags or like slow fashion type handbags, how can eBay personalize what I'm seeing?
Yeah, there are so many areas that we're really working on here. I'll mention one that we're really excited about that we just announced, which is Shop the Look. And so in fashion, this is an exciting area where we take a look at all the different things you might be interested in, and then leveraging Gen AI, create inspirational looks for you. So, oh, hey, you may be looking at a few handbags. Let's create a look that takes those handbags you're looking at and combines it with an outfit that might be interesting to you. And so that's really exciting to be able to take things that we know about you because you've been shopping on eBay, but then inspire you to look across different categories, think about other purchases you might make to really enhance your overall buying experience.
And how do you serve that content to customers? Is it a lot of by email? Is it just digital ad placements?
So a lot of that is within our mobile app right now. And what we do is make sure that as we're communicating out across our different own channels, whether it's email or in-app push notifications, that we tie it directly to that experience so that you can land on an area where we have personalized content for you.
And are you involved with eBay's retail media business at all? I know the brand was something of a pioneer in that category, but now it's become such a widespread strategy for so many retailers.
Yes, so I work very closely with our retail media team, the eBay ads team. So there's a lot of work that we do to help our sellers take advantage of that work. We also actually help drive additional traffic through our paid media placements back to our sellers through the retail media network as well.
And shifting gears a little bit, it does feel like eBay has a lens into consumer behavior across all these retail categories that we already
Mhm.
talked about. Are there any consumer trends you're noticing right now when it comes to buying on the platform? Are people spending more time on mobile or on desktop? Are there any weird new categories popping up that are super interesting? What's kind of the gist of what you're seeing there?
Yeah, so obviously, the shift towards mobile has been going on for a number of years now, and certainly it's happening on eBay as well. I think most consumers are now expecting that, hey, if I'm going to buy, you should have a mobile app and it should be a great experience. And so that's an area that eBay has been investing in significantly in. From a marketing standpoint, I think what we're seeing in terms of shifts and trends is, well, particularly with Gen Z, a shift towards wanting to consume media in a different way. That, look, older generations are much more used to linear TV, but Gen Z is certainly not, right? Gen Z is much more used to consuming media when they want, where they want. And so being in those placements in an authentic way is super important for us. And so, from a marketing standpoint, as we are continually evolving and leaning in to make sure that we're relevant towards all generations, we've been leaning much more heavily into media placements that are much more integrated with the experience that our customers are expecting so that we can drive our message in a much more authentic way. And so I'll give you an example of that, Adrian, which is here in the UK, I'm actually speaking to you from the UK today, is we started a partnership with Love Island, which is a program here that's one of the most popular sort of dating programs. And what we've done is we've basically, at the cast, outfitted in all of eBay's pre-loved clothing. And so, this is a way that we can get a message out there of just how much amazing inventory that we have in the UK of pre-loved fashion shown to them in an environment where they can see it. It really talks to sort of things that they care about, like sustainability, and we're able to leverage that to create a much larger sort of share of voice and create a lot of buzz around what we're doing in the fashion categories.
Really showcasing those trends to people where they want to see them. How's that been going? What's the
It's been
reaction?
going amazingly well. Also, we have driven so much interest in fashion, and here in the UK, we've seen influx of new customers. So we're really excited about it, and it certainly speaks to just how important it is for us to be communicating with our customers in a way that feels authentic, in a place where they feel like they can consume the media how they want to.
Do you think you might replicate that effort in the US with a different show?
Uh, Yeah, there are a lot of discussions underway right now, but certainly it is a strategy of thinking about what are the right places? How do we make sure that we're doing it in a way that feels authentic and we're not just, slapping our name on a show in a very odd way? And so as those opportunities come up, we're very excited to be working with partners on them.
Well, we're almost out of time, but I was hoping you can just briefly touch on what else we can expect to see from eBay for the rest of this year.
Oh, I'd
In a nutshell.
say there is so much going on with eBay. I'll talk just, a little bit about what we're doing on the marketing front. Again, we are very much leaning into some of our core or passion and categories, continuing to lean into fashion, making sure that we're bringing a lot of the messaging around the great selection we have, as well as trust. We mentioned authenticity guarantee earlier. And so continuing to lean on that again, and really making sure we're authentic. So you'll see a lot more of us working with key sort of community influencers, with social elements, making sure that that really comes to life. We're going to be leaning heavily into how do we make sure that we're talking to not just buyers, but sellers, because sellers are the heart of eBay, right? This is where we get all of our amazing inventory. So a lot of work we're doing to create a better seller experience, particularly for more consumer sellers as well, which is a place where we feel like there's still so much opportunity for us to continue to grow.
Well, we are out of time. Adrian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Adrian.
That was Adrian Fung, Global Chief Marketing Officer at eBay, and I'm Adrienne Pasquarelli, Special Projects Editor and Senior Reporter at Ad Age. I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Ciardio, and invite you to subscribe to the Marketers Brief podcast on your favorite player. We promise to keep it brief or at least short enough for your morning coffee. Thanks for tuning in.
Marketers Brief listeners get $40 off an adage.com subscription. Sharpen your marketing edge and visit adage.com/brief for your discount.